Good morning. Today's daily devotional is on Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Bible study. Romans 8:28 is a pivotal verse in Paul's argument about God's sovereign care for believers. The phrase, "and we know," indicates a certainty based on the previous discussion of the Spirit's work in believers' lives. All things encompasses both positive and negative experiences, suggesting that God's providential care extends to every circumstance. The verb works, synergy, implies God's active involvement in orchestrating events for the believer's ultimate good. This good is not necessarily immediate comfort or prosperity, but conformity to Christ's image, as seen in verse 29. The verse includes two qualifications: those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. These phrases emphasize the reciprocal nature of the believer's relationship with God and the divine initiative in salvation. Bible Encyclopedia. The concept of God's purpose, prothesis, is central to Paul's theology. It refers to God's eternal plan for salvation, which includes election, justification, and glorification, as elaborated in verses 29 to 30. John Stott notes, "This verse does not teach that all things are good in themselves, but that God works them together for good." Douglas Moo emphasizes that the good in this verse should be understood in light of God's ultimate purpose of conforming believers to Christ's image. In a world filled with uncertainty and challenges, Romans chapter 8, verse 28 offers a profound assurance of God's sovereign care. This verse doesn't promise that everything will be pleasant or easy, but it does guarantee that God is actively working in all circumstances for the ultimate good of his children. Consider the life of Joseph in the Old Testament. Sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned, he could have easily despaired. Yet, years later, he was able to tell his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. Joseph's story is a powerful illustration of how God can weave even the darkest threads of our lives into a beautiful tapestry of his purpose. This promise is not for everyone, but for those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. It's an invitation to trust in God's larger plan, even when we can't see or understand it. In our struggles and triumphs alike, we can rest in the knowledge that our loving Father is orchestrating all things for our ultimate good and his glory. How might your perspective on difficult circumstances change if you truly believed God was working them for your good? In the name of Jesus, I speak blessings and favor over you today. Now, go and bless others.